Once upon a time, in ancient India, there lived a man who was deeply troubled by his own emotions. His heart was heavy with anger, frustration, and restlessness. No matter how hard he tried, he could not find peace. One day, he heard that the Buddha, the Enlightened One, was visiting a nearby village. The man decided to seek his guidance, hoping to discover a way to master his emotions. When he arrived, the Buddha greeted him with a warm smile, his eyes full of compassion. "Come, sit with me," the Buddha said gently. "Let me share with you a story." Long ago, there was a mighty king who ruled over a vast and prosperous kingdom. He had wealth beyond measure, servants at his command, and lands that stretched beyond the horizon. And yet, despite all he possessed, his heart was easily disturbed. The smallest inconvenience could steal his joy. One day, the king decided to visit a neighboring kingdom, famed for its wise and just ruler. The neighboring king welcomed him with great honor and prepared a grand feast to celebrate his arrival. As they dined together, a small fly landed in the visiting king's cup of soup. The king's face darkened. His anger rose swiftly. "How dare such a thing happen?" he shouted. He ordered his servant to bring him another bowl immediately. The wise king of the neighboring land observed this quietly. Then, with a calm voice, he said, "Your Majesty, please do not let such a small creature disturb your peace. It is not the fly that has spoiled your soup. It is your reaction that has disturbed your heart." These words struck the king deeply. In that moment, he realized that the source of his suffering was not the world around him, but the storms within his own mind. From that day forward, he began to practice the art of non-reaction. Over time, he found that he could face challenges with grace. His temper softened, his mind grew clearer, his kingdom flourished, not only in wealth but in harmony. The Buddha paused and looked at the man before him. "Like that king," he said, "you too can learn to master your mind. You too can find peace, not by controlling the world, but by controlling your reactions." Inspired by the Buddha's words, the man began to practice mindfulness. He learned to pause before reacting. When anger arose, he observed it. He took a deep breath, and he chose not to act on it. At first, it was difficult. The old habits of anger and frustration pulled at him. But with time, he found that the urge to react began to weaken. His heart grew lighter. His relationships improved. His days felt calmer. We all encounter situations that test us. A harsh word, a small inconvenience, a disappointment. These are like the fly in the soup. They are not the cause of our suffering. It is our reaction that disturbs our peace. As the Buddha taught, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at another. You are the one who gets burned. To master our emotions does not mean to suppress them. Emotions are natural, a part of being human. But we can learn to see them clearly, to understand them, and to choose our response with wisdom. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. When we practice non-reaction, we free ourselves. We no longer hand over our happiness to the words or actions of others. We no longer allow small things to steal our peace. In another time and place, there lived a man named Michael. Like so many of us, Michael struggled with his emotions. He reacted quickly to frustrations. His anger often hurt those he loved. One day, realizing the harm this was causing, he decided to change. He began practicing mindfulness and meditation. He learned the art of pausing. When a situation triggered his anger, he would take a step back. He would breathe. He would reflect before responding. At first, this was not easy. Michael still felt the pull of his old reactions, but he stayed committed. And in time, he found that he could meet challenges with calm. His relationships improved. His heart became steadier. One day, a friend came to him in distress. The friend said, "Michael, you always seem so calm. You always know what to say. How do you do it?" Michael smiled. "It is not that I never feel anger or upset," he said. "It is that I have learned not to let my emotions control me. I have learned to pause, to see clearly, to choose my response." This is a lesson for all of us. The power of non-reaction is within our reach. It takes practice, patience, and kindness toward ourselves. But the rewards are great. When we master our reactions, we strengthen our relationships. We make wiser decisions. We walk through life with greater peace. As the Buddha taught, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. And so, let us practice. Let us choose compassion over judgment. Let us choose understanding over impulse. Let us choose peace over conflict. For in mastering our mind, we discover a freedom that no one can take from us. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Moral of the story: we may not control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. In mastering our reactions, we master ourselves. And in mastering ourselves, we find true peace.